We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, myself Asif Mistry, Electrical Engineering Department of Shankar Shri Waghela Babu Institute of Technology, which is affiliate to GTU. Today I am going to take lecture on the topic high voltage testing. This topic is from semester 6 subject, that is high voltage engineering. Subject code of this subject is 2160904. In my first lecture I have discussed about the introduction of this subject. Now in this lecture I will cover syllabus topic number 7 and 8. Topic number 7 is testing and 8 means topic number 8 is layout of high voltage laboratory. Okay, now let us start with the high voltage testing. This is the outline of my presentation. In this I will explain testing of insulator, bushing, circuit breaker, cables, transformer, surge arrestor. Okay, after that we will discuss about the design, planning and layout of high voltage laboratory. Okay, so before starting this my presentation, I would like to introduce you about some basics of insulator, bushing and etc. all the equipments. Insulator, generally insulator is a device in which current cannot flow or current opposes, okay, by this kind of material. Then bushing generally we can find it on the equipment terminals. Okay, basically it provides support to the terminals. Then circuit breaker is a device which will break or makes the circuit, okay, during the faulty condition. One basic example of the circuit breaker is our MCB, which is situated in our home. But in transmission line the rating of the circuit breaker is in terms of kVA, okay, not in ampere, right? So that circuit breaker, that testing is also necessary. Then cables, we all know the cables. Then transformer, surge arrestor. Yes, surge arrestor is a device which we can use or one can use to protect from the lighting stroke. Okay, so this is the outline of the my presentation. Okay, now let us move on the testing on the insulator. Testing of the insulator. So on the insulator we can test 4 type of test: flashover, withstand, which is done by the giving impulse wave, then dry flashover and wet flashover test. In any impulse testing we will give the impulse wave with the help of marked circuit to that object. Okay, in this figure we can say this is the impulse flashover test. In this you see in the figure insulator is there and it is given by the supply by the impulse marked circuit. Okay, and insulator is situated on the tower. Okay, and this type of test, the impulse of 1/50 microsecond is applied. Amplitude of this impulse is such that it carries 50% flashover. This test object must not be damaged. Okay, if it is damaged then sample is fail. Now another test, that is normal impulse flashover test. Now another one is Impulse withstand means at how much time it will sustain. In this case, the object is subjected to standard impulse of 1 by 50 microsecond, whose value is equal to given specified magnitude of on rating plane. In this test, if 5 application back to back of such impulse on the test object, if 5 application do not cause any flashover or puncture, then insulator is said to have passed the impulse withstand test, and if 2 out of 5 causes flashover, then insulator is said to be fail. Okay. Now let's move on to the another, that is called flashover test. In flashover, in place of the impulse wave, we have to give the supply of power frequency. Power frequency means at 50 hertz and voltage generator. The test object is, in this test, the test object is subjected to any power frequency voltage. In beginning, under the dry condition of the sample, power frequency is increased up to specified power frequency voltage in the specification of rating plate. It is maintained for 1 minute. Okay. Again, voltage is gradually increased until the flashover occur, and repeated for or 5 times. Mean of all the flashover voltage may not be less than specified power frequency voltage. Okay. So that is power frequency. Now wet flashover test, carried out under the influence of artificial rain created by specially designed fountain. Okay. In that spray water, this kind of minerals are there, A, B, C, D, and see, this is the circuit diagram of wet flashover test. Artificial rain is there. Now, as we discussed for insulator, similarly some tests can be repeated for the bushing. Simply in place of insulator, we have to put bushing. So on the bushing, as shown in figure, 5 tests are there: power factor, impulse, partial, power frequency, and temperature rise test. Now in the power factor test, is a basic test in which sharing bridge has been used. Sharing bridge, by use of sharing bridge, we can find the delta, 10 delta measurement. Okay. The capacitance and the power factor are measured. Okay. Now power factor of the insulating material is equals to loss tangent, that is called tan delta. The capacitance and the power factor are measured at different voltage level. The values obtained from the test must match the specified value. Now again, previously we have done the simple test for the insulator. Now let us time for bushing. In place of that, we are putting bushing, then give the impulse 5 times. If no flashover occur, then bushing is passed. Okay. Now partial discharge test. Before that test, understand about the word partial discharge. If any insulator is permanently damaged, then it is called discharge or damage. But just like treeing and tracking effect, only treeing is there, means for some time or some part of that insulator may be work as a conductor or current can flow through that. That is known as partial discharge or ionization of air. This is the example of partial discharge. So that kind of test we have to perform on the bushing. This test carried out to determine the deterioration taking place inside the insulating material. The root cause of the partial discharge are development level. Okay. Now again, power frequency flashover test. So same as previously we done for the insulator, figure is given. Okay, you can read. To carry out this test, the object is subjected to power frequency voltage. It is gradually increased till the object breakdown. The breakdown voltage must not be less than the specified value. Okay. Then last, temperature rise test. The bushing is considered to have passed the test if permissible temperature rise limits specified as in IS are met and if there is no visible evidence of damage. So this insulator and bushing are widely used in a transmission line. The another equipment which is used, that is known as circuit breaker, as we have just discussed, and some 6 tests can be performed on that circuit breaker, like dielectric test, impulse, thermal, mechanical, short circuit, and direct testing. Okay, so this is the basic figure of circuit breaker. It has 2 contact. Okay, now let us discuss first dielectric test. In this test, the circuit breaker is exposed to different type of over voltages such as lighting impulse, switching impulse, power frequency, and it includes power frequency, voltage withstand test, and impulse voltage, as we have discussed already. Now impulse voltage test. Okay, so similarly give impulse signal 5 times to that circuit breaker. If no flashover or puncture is occur, then sample is pass. Okay, next one is thermal test. To check the thermal, we are performing this test to check the thermal behavior of the breaker. In this test, the rated current through switch gear is passed continuously for a longer period to achieve steady state condition. Then mechanical test. Mechanical test is generally done at the context. Circuit breaker contact is a mechanical device which should be operated very frequently and smoothly. For that, mechanical test has been performed. In this test, circuit breaker must open and close at the correct speed and perform such operation without mechanical failure. The breaker mechanism is subjected to a mechanical endurance type test involving repeated opening and closing of the circuit breaker. This test requires 500 such operations without no adjustment of the mechanism. Okay, now short circuit test. This is the very essential test particular for the circuit breaker, because at the time of fault very much amount of current has been flow. At that time this test give its significance. This test includes breaking current test, making current test, short time current test, operating duty test. Okay, this kind of test is occur. This test is carried out to prove the rating of the circuit breaker, as on the circuit breaker nameplate short circuit capacity has been written. Short circuit test verifies the capability of circuit breaker to carry the current for 1 or 3 seconds. Making capacity test verify ability of circuit breaker to close the short circuit current. Short circuit test is an experimental method for providing the rating of the circuit breaker. Now the last test on the circuit breaker is direct testing. In this test, the complete circuit breaker is subjected to the full power directly. The oscillograph to the secondary side of the transformer are adjusted and calibrated. While testing for the breaking current capacity, the master breaker and circuit breaker under the test are closed first. The short circuit is applied by closing the making switch. If the breaker opens suddenly, the moment is said to be circuit breaker tested. Now the next equipment is cables. There are 4 tests carried out on the cable as shown in figure: direct, power factor, power frequency, impulse, and partial discharge. That all test setup is same, but in place of bushing and insulator we can put the cable. Okay, for power factor test use sharing bridge. This is the power frequency test. This is the impulse voltage withstand test. This is the partial discharge test. Okay, now testing on the transformer. This test is carried out on the transformer to determine the ability of insulation to withstand high voltages. Impulse test is carried out on a transformer to check the ability of withstanding against lighting surge. In impulse test, the surge are applied to 1 or 2 phases of HV or low voltage winding. The impulse voltage is generated by the impulse generator. This is the in the PPT you can show HP voltage means the rating of the transformer, and impulse voltage. Suppose 3.3 kV transformer is there, then impulse of 16 kV has been given on that transformer. Similarly vice versa. Then impulse test on the transformer. This is the test setup by okay. See, at the delta star connected transformer is there, and with the help of switchgear gear, or we can say Mach circuit, we have to give the impulse wave to the transformer. Now another device is surge arrestor, which is a very essential device which will use to protect from the lightning stroke. Okay, force test has been done on that surge arrestor. Power frequency spark, 100% impulse spark, front of a wave spark over test, and residual voltage test. Power frequency, just previously we have discussed. Then impulse, again same. Now front wave or spark over test. Before this test, it is necessary to understand the word front of wave. See, whenever we analyze the impulse wave, it is the wave. Okay, now in that, on that graph, time taken from 0 to attain maximum value, that time is known as wave front, and from maximum value in that waveform to a 50% of that maximum value, time required is known as wave tail. Okay, so this front of wave spark over test has been also done. It should by this test we can in order to ensure that the surge arrestor flashes over for very steep fronted wave of high peaks. This test is conducted using an overvoltage having a rate of rise of 100 kV per microsecond per 12 kV of the rating. This test is done by conducting 100% spark over voltage test for increasing magnitude of the standard impulse wave. Now residual voltage test. So what do you understand by residual voltage? The voltage developed across the non-linear resistor unit during the flow of surge current through the arrestor is called residual voltage. The magnitude of the current are approximately 0.5, 1.0, 2.0 times the rated currents. Now radio interference measurement. Due to various reasons, the noise voltage is produces. These are the reasons. Okay, and this is the setup for radio interference. Now our last topic, that is known as design, planning and layout of HV laboratory. First of all, one should able to classify the HV laboratory. It is divided in a three part: small laboratory, medium size and large size laboratory. Okay, so first of all, a small laboratory, it contains a TC or power frequency test equipment less than 10 kilowatt, 10 WA rating, voltage rating about 300 kV AC for a single unit. Okay, these are the facilities for small laboratory. Now medium laboratory, it has been divided in two parts: indoor and outdoor type. In indoor type, it is free from atmospheric condition, variable weather, simplicity in the design and control of the test equipment, the provision of observation facilities during this testing. Now outdoor type laboratories, advantage is that low cost due to absence of building cost and the plant facilities layout cost, but it must have some disadvantage, that is absence of lifting and supporting facilities, climate condition which may restrict or impedance testing, reproducibility of result are not guaranteed due to uncontrolled atmospheric conditions. Okay, now let us learn about the layout. Okay, and what is the importance to provide efficient testing facility. Each laboratory has to be designed individually, considering the type of equipment to be tested, available space, other accessories needed for the test, the storage space required, grounding and etc. carefully. Laboratory building. Okay, the building construction is not critical except where ionization tests are conducted. The floor should withstand the loading imposed equipments and test objects. Arrangement should be made to ensure the laboratory is free from the dust, draft and excessive humidity. By studying all the tests conducted for voltage testing, we can conclude that testing is required for the efficient working of the electrical instruments used in a high voltage transmission system. Okay, so let us give quick I will give you a quick revision that today we have study about we learned about the 5 topics, that is testing of insulator, testing of bushing, testing of cable, testing of transformer, testing of radio interference equipment. Okay, so this is all about the topic number 7 and 8 of your syllabus of high voltage engineering. For if you have any query, you can make me on my mail id, that is asit.mistry@bapujikevi.ac.in. Thank you.